Greetings. This is going to be a quick check-in, all 12 signs. So starting with Capricorn, ending with Sagittarius. So check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I do follow Vedic sidereal astrology, not Western, because it's where the planets actually were. Capricorn, what are you so stressed about? For some of my Capricorns, there could have been an injury, an illness, a sickness, a mishap, something that could have happened at work. There could have been an oopsie daisy. I'm hearing oopsie daisy, oopsie, oopsies. Something here with oopsies for my Capricorns. For some of my Capricorns, I'm hearing all I do is win, win, win no matter what. So for some of my Capricorns, it's like back-breaking work is what I'm hearing, but it's going to pay off in the end. So there's something here that it's going to take time, but it compounds on itself. It exponentially increases. So it gets bigger and better at an exponential rate. So something is exponential. So that is good. But it seems like some of my Capricorns can also be at their boiling point or at their breaking point, or be cautious when you are cooking or when you're engaging with someone at work to see if they are at their boiling point, or if someone is at their breaking point, or if you are almost at your breaking point, because there's something here with that. For some of my Capricorns, you can have scouts looking at you. I spoke on this in your individual reading this week. So I have done all of the individual readings for all 12 signs. They are posted completely on my YouTube. Angels of Vega is my Zodiac YouTube, and then Valerie from Vega is collective messages and not Zodiac, because some people hate the Zodiac stuff. So I decided I'd just separate it. So if you hate Zodiac stuff, you're like, screw that, don't worry about it, go to my Valerie from Vega one. If you like the Zodiac stuff, then go to my Angels of Vega. For some of my Capricorns, you have someone scouting you, looking you out, looking at you, look at me now. Look at me now. I'm getting paper. So Chris Brown. So you have people from the past looking at you being like, wow, geez, they did better for themselves than me, or better for themselves than I thought they would. Then you have other people looking at you and being like, I want to do business with them, or I want to be friends with them, or I might want to like court them, date them, but they're kind of scared of you. This is my thing. If anyone is like kind of scared to approach me, then clearly you're not my person, because I don't believe God would sow the seed. I don't know. I mean, I just don't believe that. I believe that everything happens that's meant to happen when it's meant to happen. And there's something here, Capricorn, where you have a bunch of people that are like pussyfooting and kind of like tiptoeing around you to try and like observe you. It's like, I'm not some zoo animal, like, or Capricorn, this could be you. So if you are looking at someone like there's some sort of zoo animal to be observed or absorbed, that's creepy. It puts the lotion on the skin. Is that from Hannibal? Cannibal? Okay, that's creepy. I don't know, someone here could have liked movies like that, or maybe there is something with Hannibal Lecter. Kind of creepy. Now I'm hearing Lil Wayne, Eat You Alive. Gonna eat you alive. Now for some of my Capricorns, there is definitely a little kid here who also could be like eating everything, or you could have a pet who likes to eat everything. So just be careful that there aren't like poisonous or spiky, pokey things around, so that your pet or your child is okay. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aquarius. For some of my Aquarians, there is some sort of teacher-student dynamic going on. Are you my mother? I channeled that earlier in another message. So for some of my Aquarians, there is something here about playing out that mother wound or mommy dynamics. So for some of my male Aquarians, it would pay you well to understand where you relate to the woman you're dating, or your wife, or females that you are interested in, or friends, how you relate to them based off of your relationship with women because of your mother, because there's something here that's like affecting how you treat women based off of your relationship with your mother. Now for my feminine Aquarians, there's something here where you are you're schooling these little boys is what I'm hearing. So you could be put in men's life. You could be someone who's kind of like the Samantha of Sex and the City. So Samantha, she's like older, but she always goes for the young boys. So I don't know, there could be like a big age gap for some of my Aquarians. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. For some of my Aquarian women, there's like a late pregnancy here, like late 30s or in your 40s. So if you're like, yeah, that's not, and literally to say that, we get pages coming out. So this can even be one of those things, Aquarians, where For any of my Aquarians, male or female, you could be like, yeah, we had one, but it was just, we never got pregnant again after that. Well, it's coming around the mountain. It's like, you're about to be in season. Kids are about to be in season. Or for my Aquarians who never were able to get pregnant, it's like, congratulations, fertility's back on. It's back on. It's back on. So someone here, the electricity could go out. It is storm season. So just make sure you got extra batteries, that you have, battery packs or things like that for storm season. Something about storms. When it rains, it pours. For some of my Aquarians, you could be winning some sort of bet. Ooh, for some of my Aquarian men, there is something sourpuss going on in the friendship group. One of your friends betrayed you verbally, or you betrayed one of your friends verbally. There's a very astringent, I'm hearing astringent, so something about astringent, maybe astringent or toner on the skin for some of my Aquarians. You may want to try some. I know I used like witch hazel previously. I don't use any face products now. I probably could, but I just don't. For some of my Aquarians, there is travel. Someone is not telling you something. Someone has something of yours, but they haven't told you. Someone is withholding a letter, an important email. There's some information that you either, I will say it is an air sign that is stopping the communication from going through. So I don't know, I could be speaking to an Aquarius who is listening to me right now and they're like, yeah, I blocked that message from going from that person to that person. Or I told someone this so that they wouldn't send that message. Someone here was told something so they wouldn't send a message, or a message was intercepted. Interception, deception. There's a deception because there was an interception. Yeah, and someone feels bad about this, and it could also deal with a Capricorn, but it's definitely news. It's definitely something verbal, a verbal altercation here. It does seem like it is going to end up good in the end. It's almost like someone was waiting and they just didn't get any. So you could have been waiting like years to hear from someone. But here's the thing. So I'll use like a quick metaphor. Say someone told someone, person A, B, and C. Person B told person A something about person C, so person A never went towards person C. Now, it's been 2 years, and person A is not who they were back then, and person C is also not who they were back then. And so it was like, even though person B was like, haha, I'm getting in the middle of these two, it's actually like God planted that person there because these two needed to mature more, because if they met previously 2 years prior, then they would have like triggered each other in some sort of way, or it wouldn't have worked out. So it's funny because Aquarius, there's something going on here. Take it whatever side of the fence you're on, but there's a situation where someone got in the middle of a business partnership, a friendship, a loving relationship. They got in the middle of some sort of connection, and in getting in the middle of it, they actually created the necessary time so that both of those people could actually evolve and mature to where they needed to be, where they would actually be receptive to the relationship. And now when it comes back around, it's like, it's going to be guns a-blazing. It's going to be all aboard. I don't know, something like that. So, and you could leave something to go towards this thing, or someone is going to leave. One of the sides is going to have to leave to go towards the other person. And people also could be like, oh, they're never going to leave that. But it's like, this year, they do. So, someone's walking away. Okay, Pisces. Pisces, you are ghosting someone. Someone's ghosting you. You could be ghosting a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or Libra, or a Libra, Capricorn, Virgo, a Taurus ghosted you. Now, for some of my Pisces, you also stepped out of a bad business deal. You avoided a bad business deal. You avoided someone because you knew that it would have been more like a business deal than a relationship. For some of my Aquarians, you saw a bad contract. You sniffed out a bad contract. Hopefully you weren't the one trying to get someone to sign or receive a bad contract, because it would have been, I'm hearing, signing their death wish. So someone here avoided a death wish. Yeah, and for some of my Pisces, it's like you are meant to be a star in your own light. Shine bright, shine far, be a star. But you're meant to be your own boss. Like, you're meant to do it yourself. I don't need her. I don't need him. F it, I do it myself. So I'm hearing Do It Myself by Russ. And this, like, upsets people because they have no control over you. They don't get to pull the puppet strings when you are your own everything. And yeah, it really is giving Russ vibes, because I saw on Russ's story earlier today. He posted his song That's My Girl. It's like already on the top charts. Under all of like the credits for it, it's like written by Russ, produced by Russ, sung by Russ. It's like his name on everything. And it's like, how many artists, even if you don't like his music, how many artists do you know that produce their own stuff, write their own stuff? So, like, everything is his own. Like, I love that. So you are supposed to be that way, Pisces, and someone's like pissed about it because they want they want to get royalties off of you. Now I'm hearing the and we'll never be royals, it's none of our fun. I don't know the royal song. Is that by Lord? I think Lord is the artist. Yeah, for some of my Pisces, you also are someone who you are meant to express. I mean, everyone is. This is why I kind of hesitated on that. But you, especially for your career, are supposed to express your uniqueness. Like, you're supposed to wear, like, if you want to wear something that most people think is outrageous, you're meant to wear it. Like, it's a part of your job. I don't know. It's like costumes or costume making or really like ostentatious out there fashion statements is better for your career. And that can also like piss some people off. Like, you could be around people who are like in scrubs all day and they're like, look at Pisces over here and like a moo that's like, you know, Pokemon and fuzzy boots and whatever, boots with the fur. And it's like, so what? It's like, if you want to wear that so bad, then why don't you wear it? And if you don't want to wear it, why are you even commenting on it? Like, there's a million other things you can look at or like just not comment on. You don't have to be unnecessary out of your way to talk down on someone's like playfulness or their self-expression. I don't know. Someone here is like triggered by your self-expression and your independence, which keeps coming through. But it's like people here also, Pisces, don't understand how many years you've put into something. Because that's also, I was listening to Tony Robbins earlier, and he was talking about Curry. Yeah, Curry, the 3-point guy. And he was like, Curry's 3-point record is unmatched and no one will ever touch it. And he's like, but if you look at the statistics, it makes perfect sense. He does 500 shots a day for 7 years after he went pro. Then there's all the training he did before. So it was like 3.5 million 3-point shots that he's taken for him to have 318 or whatever on the record. Now, when you look at that, like his record, I mean, I don't know if I'm getting these numbers right, but it was some kind of difference. Like basically the one who scored the most before him was like, 70s or something. And then his was in the 300s and people were like, whoa, that's crazy. But then again, if you zoom out and you're like, but he shot a ball 3.5 million times, you guys. Like, wrap your brain around that. 3.5 million times for him to have that sort of record. And so Pisces, there's something here that's like that for you. People are like, oh, you just read, like, I'll use myself for an example. I have done over 16,000 readings in the last 2 years, okay, 2 years. And I have receipts for every single one of those readings, 2 freaking years. And I have reviews on 7,000 of those. So my work, whether you like what I do or not, is like, you can't question it. It's just unquestionable. You look at Edgar Cayce, who has been used, like was used in medically, like he was more of like a medical psychic, which I honestly feel like I am, especially after I healed my freaking ankle in like less than a week. It's crazy. Anywho, he did over 14,000 readings in his entire career, okay? His entire career. And I've done 16,000 in 2 years. So people could see, like someone just scrolling on their phone could see a video like this pop up and be like, look at this white bitch, like look at this blah blah blah, oh I bet and just say whatever they want to say, and yet not know that my grandparents were born in Hungary. I know I wasn't, but it's still my blood, it's still my bloodline, right? And then the fact that I've done 16,000 readings in just 2 years, and I've done readings way longer than that. It wasn't through certain companies and websites. So my point is, Pisces, someone here thinks that something was just given to you or handed to you, or that it just kind of fell in your lap, or it's pretty privilege, or, it's like, no, they worked for it. Just like Curry with the 3-point shots, like they worked for it. So you worked for it, Pisces, and you earned it. And you are going to see the payoff for that. I will say, it seems like you really can't trust people with dating right now, because even the people who are really interested in getting to know you have an air of jealousy and aren't as just comfortable and as authentic in their skin as you are. And being a Pisces, you'll be able to sniff that out. So, okay, Aries. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aries. You could be getting a new pleasure. Okay, some of my Aries, I don't know, maybe you're getting new pleasure toys. Okay, you could also be starting a new hobby that you just like really enjoy, like you find a lot of pleasure. Pleasure is what keeps coming up, Aries. So it seems like Taurus season, or as we enter Taurus season, the biggest theme for you is really focusing on pleasure, like baking things, eating things, the textures of things, like being really present with situations with your pets, if you are in a relationship with yourself. And it's like there's something that you're going to experience more pleasure. It definitely seems like you are going to be getting some education on something, or starting or branching off on a little niche. Like my best metaphor for this is someone who is a show jumper, like me. Like with riding horses, I do show jumping, and there are many different disciplines. So say that I decided to start doing barrel racing one weekend a month on my horse to, like, you know, do a different just do a different discipline, a different skill. So it's like that barrel racing, even though it's a different discipline, it has a different end goal, is still exercise and still works on the relationship between me and my horse. And so our show jumping will still improve. So for a lot of my Aries, there's something here where it's like, by going by a side niche, kind of like bodybuilders, it's like, okay, bodybuilding's good. Maybe I want to actually incorporate some Pilates classes for lengthening muscles in between to get like a different look. So there's something here, Aries, where it's going to be like a tweak of what you're doing, but it's going to still add up. It's still putting a token in the piggy bank towards your overall goal. And there's some deception here, Aries. You may have to be like Pisces, where you are kind of more alone this month. Because again, you have people around you who are either trying to be tag-alongs. Isn't tag-along also like a cookie? Or isn't it like a cookie or a candy? I don't know. I think it is though. Someone here could like tag-alongs. Aries, you literally got the exact same energy as Pisces. So you could either be an Aries that's heartbroken over this Pisces, or you could be a Pisces that's heartbroken over this Aries, or you are both, but people are heartbroken over you. They're heartbroken over you because they feel like you're inaccessible, because you have reached a new level of, again, what I was saying in the Pisces reading, a new level of just authenticity with your self-expression, with who you are, with how you live your life. And so now, like, what could have previously pulled the wool over your eyes can't even get your attention now. And it's not a stuck up thing. It's just like, well, we are what we hang around, and God calls us to be equally yoked. So if I'm cycling 50 miles a day, cooking every single meal, doing hot and cold therapy every day, if I'm treating my body with the highest utmost respect, if I'm educating myself every day, I play a musical instrument, I'm physically fit, like if I'm all these things, then I'm only going to give a man that literally is also every single one of those things attention. And I have not met a man that has even remotely come towards me that even fulfills half. And that's not me stuck up. That's me wanting something that's equally yoked, because that's what the Bible calls for partnership, is equally yoked. So Aries, you are like this, like me, like you're in this situation where you're like, well, like, it's nothing against this person. It's just like, they clearly do not value food the way I do. They clearly do not value exercise the way I do. They clearly don't value musical instruments and utilizing that portion of their brain like I do. They don't care about those things. And animals, like if they're not a huge animal lover, then it's like, heck no. So, you know, there's all these things on my list, and I have been living that way. Like, that's how I've lived my life. That's just me. That's authentic to me. So why would I even remotely be interested in someone who is drinking and partying, only plays a musical instrument, but they're not in the gym, they're not stronger, fitter than I am, or someone who is really fit and strong, but can't play an instrument, has 2 left feet, has no rhythm? Like, it's just not a match. It's just not a match. It's very simple. So there's one of those things where it's like, Aries, you're at this point where you're like, you can't pull the wool over my eyes because you can't even get me interested because it just doesn't even match me. It's like, it's not even like it's just over. It's like in one, out the other. And that's like really breaking people's hearts, Aries, especially people of the past who know that they did you wrong. You even have like family members, people that you've lived with, maybe even past roommates, who are like starting to feel bad about all the crap that they've talked about you, because it's like, you know, maybe they were peaking in high school or something, but it's like, and you're like, duh, and it's like, but all you did was just care for yourself and be present and be authentic and live that way. So how are people really going to gossip about that? It's like, what, you're gossiping because someone's actually taking care of their health? That's interesting. Okay, whatever. Like, whatever. Yeah, you expose all this, and you shine a light. What does a light do in a dark room? It lights everything the fuck up. So Aries, you are lighting things up, and it's like bothering people. But I do see a new wave of people coming towards you by August and July. So I don't know, you can kind of be going through kind of a lonely season, but Aries likes spending time alone because it just gives you more time for your animals and education. So it's like a win-win. It's like there is no fear of missing out. There is no, oh, we don't want you to hang out at our table. It's like, I don't want to hang out at your table anyway. I'd rather be with my animals. I'd rather play my instrument. I'd rather dance. I'd rather make music. I would rather do readings. Like, I would rather everything else in the world than be a part of your fake friends. So, and with guys, it's like, I would rather be anywhere else in the world than be validated by someone who is half, not even half of all the things that I do and invest in myself. Like, I just won't waste my time with that. So call that stuck up if you want, but it's not. It's just, I won't play with anything that's unequally yoked to me. And that's how everyone should be. So, Taurus. If you are not in a loving relationship, you are going to meet. For some of my Taurans, you could have felt like you have met your twin flame. No, you haven't, girl or boy. No, you haven't. That was a karmic soulmate that was prepping you for this person that's on the way. Especially Six of Cups with the Lovers. Like 100% with this combo, Taurus. And, okay, for my Tauruses who are in relationship, if you have had a rocky period, it's going to get better and things are going to be great this June and July. Like, I just see sparks flying. I mean, obviously 4th of July, there could be something special about this 4th of July. For some of my Taurans, again, who aren't in relationship, if you've been single for a while, I see that changing. Some like very strong Gemini energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So for some of my Taurans, if you have kids, one of your kids could like get their first boyfriend or girlfriend, and that could like stress you out as a parent. You could be like, no, but it's a good thing. It's like there's like young love here. For some of my Taurans who have been single for a while, you could actually end up with someone that you knew when you were younger. And this came through, so again, I did all of the individual readings. So this is just a quick going through all 12, but I did every single individual sign on my Angels of Vega YouTube. So go check out your sign for longer one there. I did speak about this, Taurus, in that. Now, for some of my Taurans, there is definitely someone who is walking away or is leaving a marriage because I have the Ten of Swords with Justice. So, and the Five of Pentacles. All three of these cards are leaving something out in the cold and ending a contract. This can also be a work situation, but it can also be a living situation, or it can be a relationship. It's just some sort of contractual type thing, or something that is like a contract that was a large commitment that is ending, but it's ending so something better that has been, I mean, really clandestined. I don't even know why we put clan in front of destined, but I'm hearing clandestine. So I don't even know specifically what that word means, but I would look up clandestine because something here is clandestine. It's been a slow going. It's been a slow pace. It's been a slow, okay. Someone here kind of has like a hick country type accent. Something here is full circle, and for some of my Taurans, you could be meeting someone at work, or for some of my Taurans, like I said, your marriage is great, and your work situation is totally changing. You could even be moving for a job offer. You and your partner could be quitting your individual jobs and then making a business together, which is 100% what the Lovers and the Justice and the Ten of Pentacles could also be. Like, you're starting something. It's something that you've kind of already intrinsically been doing with the Knight of Pentacles. You know, we live in a day and age where people share, you know, minute reels that go viral on cute little relationship things or cute baking things. Like, this is someone who's like an accountant and a baker, and they decide to every night, because they already cook every night, they're like, we're just going to make it like a fun reel of like a couple cooking together, and we'll post it. And then it's like that goes viral, and before they know it, they have this like social media job when they both told themselves that they would never do something like that. But it's like, well, we love doing this. We have a really good love. And it's like, you could even focus on like family-friendly cooking, family-friendly recipes, or family-friendly activities, like things that the parents enjoy and the kids enjoy and that you can do at home or around the home or in the neighborhood. There's something here about, oh gosh, I'm hearing Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, so I'm pretty sure there are some not so great allegations about him, but I'm not speaking towards those. I'm speaking more towards just like that neighborhood friendly vibe, that comfort. So there's something here, Taurus, where you could be providing like the neighbor, you could be the house that all the kids want to like spend the night at. You're like the cool parents, the cool kid club. And it's like, I don't know, there's like a whole community around children or around family, around kind of more wholesome things like that. It could also be home renovations. Like the Ten of Swords, there could be, you know, some sort of natural disaster or something that comes through, or a demolition of something, a buying of a fixer-upper, and documenting that and sharing that on Reels, and it's like that popping off. Gemini. Gemini, you have your eyes on someone for love at a distance. You want to travel towards them. If you're single, you're curious, you've been watching them online. If this isn't you, then it's them towards you. Gemini, you have someone looking at you from a distance who's been watching you online, likely since last September or December specifically, or you could have been in, if they've been watching you for a while, you guys could have messaged a couple times in September or December is what's coming through. Definitely travel. I mean, we literally have 4 cards of travel on the table of all 4 cards. So for some of my Geminis, you could be traveling for education. You could be traveling for work. You could be traveling to meet someone and you want to combine forces. I'm hearing the force be with you. The force is strong. May the force be with you. So that's Star Wars. I don't really know. I was more of a Star Trek. I liked Star Trek more. But I've always wanted to like go back and watch the Star Wars as an adult, because I think I did watch them with my family as like a little girl, but I don't remember any of the stories of them. For some of my Geminis, you wanted to get a business off the ground before you shoot your shot towards someone. And it's like, for some of my Geminis, you're going from a player, don't want to be a player no more. So you're like, all right, I got enough. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to go for this little lady over here. So some of my Geminis, you are going to be traveling towards someone. Now, for my Geminis who are in a relationship, like I said, you could be traveling for work, or you're going to start traveling more for something. And I don't know, this could reveal weaknesses in your relationship, but it could also amp up the sex life. So for some of my Geminis who have been, you know, if it has been kind of slow going in the physical and you've been upset about that, you traveling for work more is actually going to like amp up when you are in town. It's gonna be good. Literally 10 of Swords in the reverse. So I like that. Something that was almost gonna end, you travel and it's not ending. You travel and it saves the day. Again, there is a commitment here. There is a marriage or a new contract with sports. I know that was coming through, and 3 of these travel cards can also be utilized as like sports athletes, and I was channeling D1 athletes in the individual readings. So go to Angels of Vega YouTube. There is a video for each of the 12 signs that is individual for this week. Okay, yeah, so for a lot of my Geminis, you are definitely, here's that clandestine word, meant to have 3 incomes at least. You are meant to travel for one of your jobs, and then the other 2 you could kind of just do online. And you're meant to be seen in the public eye, or the person that you're with is meant to be seen in the public eye, but it's really giving power couple vibes. Like you both, kind of like in Taurus's reading, it's like you are meant to be a role model, but in Taurus's reading, it seems more like family-centered, family idea. Like it's all about the family, whereas in Gemini, it's like, yes, there is going to be a family here, but it seems you 2 as individuals, you're either like a singer, and then this person's you know, NBA player or something, or, you know, it's like someone is a sport person and someone else is like athletic, but they're known for a different talent or music. Like there's more of like a creative and then a physical. So someone here is like known in the public eye because of sports or athletics or just fitness, and then someone else is known because of some sort of creative gift that they do. After Gemini is Cancer. For some of my Cancers, you have just been waiting for someone to pop the question. It looks like they will be sometime. It could actually be sometime around Taurus season, sometime around May. For some of my Cancers, you could just be doing a lot of wedding planning in the month of May. For some of my Cancers, be cautious, because if you're a female, the male you're with could have received some communication about someone from the past, especially if you're dating someone and they have children with another person. No matter what gender you are, female, male, if you are a Cancer or you're someone who's dating in Cancer and there are children involved and you are not the parent, or you are the parent but the person you're dating is not the parent, there is some sort of effery going on with the other parent. So they are more in cahoots than you think they are, even if they act like they hate each other. Some people really enjoy hate boinking. So I'm sorry, but I just have to mention it because it's very loudly here. Like there is some weirdness for some of them. It's a very select few, and you'll know if it's you. So don't try and make it fit if that's not you. You'll be like, darn, I knew it. You're not going to be like, what? No, we're perfect. Then it's not you. Okay. So not every general message is for you. Now for some of my Cancers, you are being told that you abandon a part of your heart, listen to your heart, when you stepped away from something or when you stepped towards something else. So this can be like you became a mother, so you stopped taking pole dancing classes because you just don't have time for it. Okay, well then you need to get a pole and do online classes at home. You are a accountant at an accounting firm and you just got a promotion to be like partner, and you used to be in a basketball league as a male, and it's like you quit that basketball league because now that you're partner you have to be at the firm or stay at the firm later until 7 or 8 p.m. The league meets up at 6 or 7, so you never have enough time after work. It's like there's something here, Cancer, that you traded in, and at the time you were like, it was a good business idea, it was good for my income, it was good for my household, but it's not good for your heart. So actually in the long term, it wasn't good for your household, it wasn't good for your income, and that's going to be exposed. It's like something that you thought was like a trade-off actually was like a trading your soul in, like trading your soul. So there's something here, there's a soul retrieval. Yeah, for some of my Cancers, there's something that's locked inside, and it's like you got to reach in and grab it. It's where the light is. It's like there's some Cancer here who's just kind of been going along to get along, and I know I said that in the individual readings too, for all 12 signs this week. You're going to have to be strong and speak up. You're going to hear me roar, that song, and also This Is My Fight song. So for some of my Cancers, you really are going to have to speak up or fight for something, or if you're watching this for a Cancer, you like a Cancer, you're going to have to really speak up and really say your piece, because they aren't going to hear you otherwise, or they're not going to believe you. Like, there is, the only effery going on here is that someone just is withholding, and they're withholding, again, either a part of their heart that really needs, it's like some of the best CEOs of businesses, you know, who do like triathlons, for example. It's like they wouldn't be the CEO that they are of that business if they weren't a triathlete. They need that time doing a triathlon to get in that flow state in their mind to make all of the important decisions that they make as a CEO. It's like they could say, oh, I'm a CEO now, I don't have time to do triathlons anymore. But then they rob themselves of that being the best CEO and of their fitness and the thing that fuels them. So for some of my Cancers, it's like you traded something in, but the thing that you traded in was the very thing that gives you fuel. And so you're going to have to reenact, or you're going to have to you're going to have to resurrect that. You're going to have to reconcile that. After Cancer is Leo. Okay, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, Leo. Some of my Leos, you're looking for new work, or you're wondering about new work. Well, I can tell you, Leo, it's come up in your reading for the last like 4 readings for you. And again, go watch your individual reading, Angels of Vega, YouTube, all one word. You are meant to do stocks, investing, or real estate. You are meant to make money passively in those ways. So for my Leos, I want you, after this reading, to go online and see like where you can take a trade class or where you can learn about that, because you are meant to make income from that. You are. And for some of my Leos, this came through in your individual weekly reading, your individual side businesses will not pop off and gain the traction that you're wanting, that you've been waiting for years. It's not going to gain it until you gain independent wealth through passive income, through other ways. And then once you have the passive wealth coming through in the other ways, then your individual businesses will pick off or take off and take traction. And God is setting it up that way, like very specifically, because if your individual company took off, then you wouldn't have the time, like you wouldn't take the extra time to learn the other passive ways of income. So God is like, I'm not opening that door for you. You have to open these doors first, and you have to go earn those keys, which means you have to educate yourself. You have to be a student. So for a lot of my Leos, there are a couple things here that God's really asking you to be a student on, so that you can, always have something to fall back on. Literally, I can't make this up. 10 of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles. And it's like stressing you out, because for a lot of my Leos, it's like, that's too stressful. I'm not good at numbers. I'm not good at math. I don't have the money to start investing in the first place. There's just excuses is all I'm hearing, right? There's just excuse after excuse. Well, it just keeps coming through, Leo. So I don't know what else to tell you. For some of my Leos, swimming would be really, really good for you, especially as a thing to like make your moves, make your decisions. I'm making moves. So Making Moves by Big Sean is coming through. But for you to make your decisions or your moves, your money moves, on where you're going to place your investments. my Leos, you also can be someone who's been like a hermit for so long, and Spirit is really wanting you to get out there. So even like taking classes on things like this, you could actually meet the person as someone that you would be like a good partner to marry or a good partner to build a home with. I'm hearing the song To Build a Home. I can't think of who sings that. It's like something orchestra or something. Okay, after Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Virgo. You can have your eyes on an Aries. Ooh, some of my Virgos could have a lot of love for an Aries, Leo, or Pisces, because Pisces kept coming through as the Queen of Wands. And there is a Virgo here who's been kind of waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world. So is that John Mayer? Or is, yeah, not Jack Johnson. I think that's John Mayer. So if you're a Virgo waiting on the world to change, it's not going to change. You just got to get up and make the changes. Literally, I can't make it up. You got to travel and be the change, Virgo. Be the change that you want to see in the world. If you want to reach out to that person, stop looking at them online and go make your move. Shmake a back move. Shmake a. I guess that could also be the thing for some of my Virgos. You could have like a number in your head. I don't know. I just got this. There could be like a Virgo male who's like, I only have 60,000 in my savings. I need 100,000 before I get a wife. Like, there could be a man here who literally like thinks in terms of how he's going to treat women based off of what is in his bank. Like, he's like, until I have X amount, they're just F girls. It's just like an escort. Until I have X amount and I'm ready to have children and I'm ready to like support a wife, it's just boinking, because that's what I'm also seeing with the Knight of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. It's like, I'm not a Ten of Pentacles daddy yet, so I'm not going to act like it, but I still want to have fun. Now for some of my Virgos, you also need to be cautious, because you are going to mess with a different caliber people when you are going from that shift. So when you make this hop from like from thought bopping to like getting a wifey, it's going to upset the previous thoughts that you were thought bopping with, okay? And I'm hearing thoughts. So there's a guy here who uses that term with his friends and he calls them thoughts. Which, as I'm hearing, I'm like, would I even want to be wifey to a man who called the previous girls thoughts? Like, no, I don't know. But I don't know. There's a Virgo here that's very compartmentalized. There's definitely a Virgo here, though, that has his mind on marriage. And I say his because it's very masculine energy that's coming through. If this is a female's energy that I'm reading for Virgo, I see it as independent boss-ish, like giving Beyonce vibes, like someone who's traveling for work, spread thin, will say kind of what they need to say, little this here, like, what is it called? They are branching out. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? When they're just getting, I don't know, they're communing with different people. They are like resourcing. Whatever it's called when you go around and you get to know a lot of different people. Commingling. Yeah, there's definitely a Virgo here that travels a lot, deals with a lot of different people. I think of like, when I'm doing wedding photography, there's a lot of people in a wedding. When I was teaching yoga classes, I have like 60 people in the class, so that's dealing with a lot of people. Any sort of professor or teaching gig, you have a lot of people involved. Any sort of doctor or masseuse, anyone who always has has individual clients, like they obviously are going to be dealing with a lot of people. So I'm speaking to a Virgo who does something like that. Similar to Gemini's reading, and you could have Gemini in your chart or be a Gemini Virgo, you are meant to share your job with your spouse. Like, your spouse is supposed to be, you're supposed to share an office, you're supposed to work together, you're supposed to have a company, a business together. There is a very strong emphasis on that. For some of my Virgos, you also can be someone who's had children with one person and then you're splitting and then you're with someone else. You could say that you said no more kids, but you're going to have kids from both of these men or both of these women. So I do see for some of my Virgos, you are supposed to have kids with multiple people here. After Virgo is Libra. For some of my Libras, I'm hearing handler. So someone here could be a handler, or they are speaking to someone who they're a handler, or like an apprentice or an assistant. Someone is someone's assistant. Someone here could be dealing with a Sagittarius, or you'd have Sagittarius in your chart. For some of my Virgos, there has been a very competitive spot. Number one spot. Is that ludicrous? Dun, dun, dun. Number one spot. Okay, well, for some of my Libras, well, take it whoever is whoever. There is a business that is blocking someone who's meant to be, like, say there's like a perfect CEO for a company. Well, the whole business, they don't want that person to be CEO because then all of the corrupt things that they're doing will get found out. So they're like, no, we can't have that person be the CEO because then we can't continue our corruption. So like they are doing everything they can to block someone from getting a promotion or block someone from getting a job altogether. Because if that person gets a job here, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So someone here can't have that. Someone here could also be spreading lies online. There is a lot of defamation online. Someone here also could have a family, like Virgo, I don't know, you could also be a Virgo, but Libra. You could have family that hate watches an ex of yours and they like continually go after that person. Or you could be someone who, like, one of your exes has family members and their exes also hate you and go after you. Like, there's like a whole posse. There's a whole hate posse here. That's just like all they do is talk crap and like fight and block. And they are like tight-knit, catnip? I don't know, tight-knit. Like a family. They could also be someone who knits. They could also be, people who knit. And they're looking at someone from a distance on the internet who has their own company that they've worked really hard for, and they speak the truth and share the truth. And this person could be an Aries, a Sagittarius, or strong Gemini or Aquarius in there as well. So, yeah. I mean, Libra, there's like a whole posse of people, or a whole gaggle of crows. I don't know. I literally channeled that in the individual weekly readings. So you may want to go to Angels at Vega YouTube, see your individual signs. But there's a group of Libra and their posse who are like about someone who has their own business and is doing something. Or there's a whole group here who's looking at a Libra who is self-employed, who's owning it, just like killing it. And this whole posse is like whispering. It's like, I mean, essentially they're fans. Remember, haters are your biggest fans. They really are, because they're going an extra mile to obsessively watch everything and yet try and say that they don't like it, but they spend more time like on it. So clearly they do like it. They do like you. So that's cute. For some of my Libras, also, if you are someone that's watching another person that you don't seriously with, and you're just watching them in disappointment, you aren't getting any closer to your goals. You aren't getting any closer to achieving things by watching someone else succeed. Especially that you don't like, because then you're just breeding and like, I don't know. There's something here needs to be, I'm hearing washed up, but something here needs a good washing. I don't know. Sounds weird. Something needs a good washing. Maybe it's your pet, Libra, but I don't know. Maybe it's your ass. So, just had to say it. After Libra, no filters, Scorpio. Scorpio, you have a scorned lover, someone who's younger, someone who is exposed, someone who could have said that they were at work when they weren't really at work, or they mess with people that they work with. They could have had like secret work relationships. They're like, yeah, I'll be home an hour late today. Have to stay with so-and-so at the office. There's something going on there. For some of my Scorpios, less is more this week. Someone misses you that tried to ghost you, but you were like quiet before they could send you the final ghosting scenario. This can be a situation where it's like someone's planning on ghosting someone, but they have to like, that person has to talk first, and then it's like you never talked. You didn't even like leave them on red. Like you didn't even open the message. So it's like they couldn't ghost you because you like didn't even open, like it wasn't even open. There's like zero, but their plan was like, I'm gonna ghost them. But it's like they got ghosted before. I don't know. There's something here. Someone beat to the ghosting punch, but they're gonna come back around. So Scorpio, if someone like reaches out to you and you've previously spoken to them, but you haven't spoken to them recently, I don't know. I wouldn't play this person's game because it's still childish. It's still a game. There's still some immaturity here. Yeah, and they're not even offering much. This is that Six of Pentacles. Was that in Leo? Virgo. That was in Virgo's reading when I was saying thought bopping. So you could be dealing with a Virgo, or a Virgo could come back around, Scorpio, and act like now they want something, your advice is like, don't even, like I said, ghost them before you like, just like don't even, leave it on red. Leave it on red, okay? So Scorpio, your advice is leave it on red. Now, for a lot of my Scorpios, literally leave it on red. Do not open. Scorpio, I don't care if you're like, this person was my such and such crush. Now, 3 years later, they want to take me out. Okay, they weren't with you on the glow up, Scorpio. Like, they do not open their message. Leave the ass on red, okay? Scorpio, leave them on red. Like, don't even open the message. I know I'm going on and on about this, but it's because I have a few Scorpio clients who I know are going to watch this, and I know exactly, like, I can say like 2 of the guys that this is speaking about, because I know they're going to come back around. They're going to say some sort of message. Don't respond. Leave them on red. Now, for some of my Scorpios, you could be leaving a job or stepping away from something because you're being offered something somewhere else. I'm also hearing it's a sunny Philadelphia. Or Philly. Someone here could like Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Or something here about Philly. Or Philly like a horse. A female horse. A filly. A young filly. Also filet. More steaks. Also though Florida. Because there's palm tree and sunny. So something with any of those states. And then the stars coming through. Which I would say is a yes on that. So for some of my Scorpios, if you are not in a relationship, you have no one relationship worthy coming towards you until like later on this summer. And you are not supposed to know, because it's like the more that you know, then the people who like hate you can know. Because it's kind of like the crossword puzzle thing. When someone does a crossword, when one person finishes and completes a crossword, then because it's in the collective consciousness, it's scientifically proven that now that crossword puzzle is going to be easier to be worked out. So if you don't know who your person is, don't even ask, because Spirit is doing it in such a way that you have no idea, so that no one around you that is trying to do negative things towards your whatever love life can know either. Because yeah, it's an intricate process here. Because there are weird people in the world who spend all of their life, because misery loves company, trying to block and make things miserable for others because their entire life is being obsessed with misery. Which sounds like a miserable freaking way to live. But unfortunately, and I do have to say, with my job as it is, it's a true statement. Like there are so many people who are just addicted to being miserable, like just obsessed with being miserable. And it's so sad. It's so sad. Yeah, for a lot of my Scorpios, you're supposed to spend some time reading, getting some knowledge, maybe doing like little weekend trips, weekend retreats, weekend education things. That is coming through very strongly. So like anything that you can learn, like a 3-day weekend or an intensive, or doing some sort of a workshop of something that you like, that is being advised for the month of May. And like close travel, or I'm hearing 3 states away. Someone here could be 3 states away. Okay, Sagittarius. Well, jealousy on deck, Sag. Oh my gosh, jealousy on deck. What? Okay, someone here is so jealous, but they are throwing rocks and hiding their hands. 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords. This is literally thievery, deception, buffoonery to the nth degree. Because someone is shining and they're on their throne and they're rocking it. She rocking that thing like she rocking that thing. So literally, someone here is out rocking it. And in a true Empress quality, they're not chasing, they're not being masculine, they're not hounding things down, they're being what I would call, I feel like spiders are the most feminine spirit animal, because a spider literally makes a giant web, and then it goes to sleep in this giant king-size bed of a web with the most beautiful landscape wherever it chooses, and it wakes up to a brunch buffet. And it can, it can sleep in, and then it has even more food. Like, that is surely going to piss off animals that have to hunt and chase after their food and exhaust their food and exhaust themselves in the process. Yeah, they're gonna look at a spider and be like, that's bullshit. Like, that's what's going on here. So Sagittarius, take it whatever side of the fence you're on, whether you're this Empress or you're the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. But someone here is jealous because of another person. But just like I was saying in Scorpio's reading, it does not help you get on your life path. It does not help you actualize anything in your life to focus on someone else succeeding in life when you don't like them. Like, that literally does not help you. And energy, especially because that person's already transmuting energy, it doesn't matter how much evil eye, whatever negativity that you send to this person, they're going to eat that, and it's all going to come out the same. I literally said this in the individual readings. And I agree with you, Misty. Why be miserable ever? I completely agree with you. I genuinely do not understand it. I have had some of the worst things happen to me in the world and my loved ones, and I have never taken it as a negative thing because I know that we live in a universe of checks and balances, and everything has been balanced out and given back that was taken from me. But it took years, and I didn't expect anything to be given back to me. I just knew, well, this really sucks and this is really painful. But I'm sure that going through these experiences is going to equip me with a bigger heart and more faith, more compassion, and more empathy for other people who are going through just as horrible things. And so I saw all of those experiences as God priming me to do the readings that I do these days. So it's like, I don't see the tragedies of my past as like, man, I just got dealt an unlucky hand for like 10 years or whatever years. Like I didn't see it like that. I was just like, man, that was a lot, and it's still a lot. And the people that I help, for them to not take their lives when I almost took mine a million times, like there's so many situations. And this is also why when people want to try and have like any sort of opinion about me and what I do, I'm like, just zip it. Like focus on, if you don't like what I do, focus elsewhere, because I know what transformations I've been through, and I know every single day talking to my clients what transformations I'm helping them go through. And if that isn't your cup of tea, if you think that's gross, if you think that's bad or wrong, or people shouldn't be able to make a living helping others not take their lives and helping others transform and live a healthier, happier, more fulfilled and more connected life, then something's wrong with you. But at the very least, you could plug yourself out of people who actually do want to get help and do better, because there's someone here in the Sagittarius reading who is literally so miserable. They're, again, just obsessed with hating on someone who's been through a lot and has made it look easy because they actually transmuted it and they went through the process. You don't become an empress because it was handed to you. This is someone who has literally perfected and gone through and transmuted all 4 kingdoms. This means she has gone through physical ailments, physical sickness, physical things that have tried to physically take her life. She has been through the mental, all of the mind games, all of the buffoonery, that narcissistic behavior, parents, or, all of the, she's been through that. This is someone who's been through other people playing with them and doing things to their energy and them not blaming it, but knowing how to also protect themselves. This is someone who's been through, the battle when it comes to career, stability, their foundation, their home, a roof over their head. This is someone who's been through the ringer when it comes to a support system. They've had to walk alone and have zero support system other than God, because that is how they earn being a freaking empress. And someone here is so pissed about it, and it makes no freaking sense, because it's like someone is so mad that someone has gone through all of these alchemical processes and they're just talking crap on them because this person would not dare. They would not dare go through half the processes that this empress has. And this is also why when people come at me like this, I still sit pretty like this. But mostly why I sit like this, and I'm speaking personal, I'm speaking me, Valerie Sebastian, right now. Why I sit like this is because the people that I help every single day. And I know that I'm not only giving to people who are giving me equal money, equal energy exchange by paying me for my services, which is literally just how it is, equal energy exchange. I then know that I'm going to go online like this and I'm going to generously just give and volunteer the energy after. So anyone who hates on whatever I do, it doesn't matter, because you sitting and hating is not helping other people's lives. It's not an equal energy exchange, and it's not selfless, it's not generous, it's not volunteer. It's just your misery just boiling over. So sorry, Sag, but I mean, I feel like that's all I need to pull on Sag's energy, because it's very simple and clear. Someone here is pissed and just downright busted and disgusted about another person actually going through the alchemical process and properly transmuting energy and actually behaving maturely, responsibly, respectfully, and helping others have the same outcome for their life. And I think that's really sad, and I think it's really telling. And I also think it probably really shows, because this person probably looks 20 years older than they actually are, and this person probably looks 20 years younger than they actually are. So funny how that happens. Bless you guys.